Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I'm getting started a little bit late this morning because I have a niece that is graduating college and my father was on the road headed that way to watch her graduate. And so because he was driving this morning, I talked to him on the phone a little longer than I normally would. And so I'm getting started a little bit late. I don't do this unless it's people that I know that are pretty active in the XRP community. But XRP researcher who sends me good information all the time, he's at XRP News _. He sent me this thing to show me that he's got this on Amazon. It's an XRP Rambler 30-ounce stainless steel vacuum insulated tumbler. And I told him that I would be more than happy to mention that he had this. For anybody, I drink coffee out of these sometimes when I'm driving, this kind of thing when I'm driving sometimes. So I was going to mention it, pass it along for what it's worth. Next, this is XRP James T at XRP James. And by the way, I'm not getting paid on that tumbler that I just showed you. I'm just doing that because this guy is a contributor, a good contributor to the XRP community, and people like that deserve to be shown things like that if they've got something that's a good product having to do with XRP. XRP James T at XRP James, and he sent me this 48%. I thought this was interesting. We talk a lot about how a lot of the mining having to do with Bitcoin and such, the mining is done out of China. Well, apparently, according to this, 48% of all global mining happens in one Chinese province of Sichuan. I guess that's how you say that. And anyway, this is from this report here from CoinS. 48% of all global mining happens in that one province. That's kind of scary when you think about it, that 48% of all global mining would come from one, for Bitcoin would come from one place. So I thought that was worth mentioning to you. Next, I got this from XRPist at _Australia22 sent me this. I had missed this. We talked about Evonsys the other day, but I didn't realize that they had tweeted out to the XRP community. To the XRP community there, Evonsys has implemented a Ripple integration to Pega, the leading DPA platform. Banks can use this as an accelerator. We will not be able to disclose any of our clients' implementation due to non-disclosure agreements. We love you, XRP community. So you should go and give Evonsys a follow because these guys, this is a new Ripple partner, and hopefully some really good things are going to come from this. Next, I got this from Michael at BAL5 Links. Sent me this. And this is from XRP Neo. This guy's been knocking it out of the freaking park. At XRP _Anderson 17. My belief, why I see Xpring as so important from the perspective of a group wanting to start a project. Up to now, you would most likely do an ICO. ICOs will bring you capital from investors like an unregulated IPO. The positives are funding with low requirements. The negatives, uncertainty in raising capital unless you market it well. The price of the token can be extremely volatile because of low liquidity. Most tokens are unsuccessful and lose most of their value over time. Many go close to zero. Having to list the token on exchanges can be difficult with a small team. Difficulty in developing a token, making sure it's decentralized, etc. All this lowers the success rate of the token in theory in the long run. The positives of receiving Xpring funding. Receive a known amount of XRP for the project. Certainty. Comparatively low volatility in XRP. XRP is likely to maintain a relatively stable value over time. Likely successful, low risk of going to zero. Don't have to worry about exchange listings. Don't have to develop a token. XRP is fully decentralized and safe. No risk of 51% attacks. The developers can focus on building a solution on top of the XRP ledger. This is why I believe Xpring can become more successful and be the seed in creating a full ecosystem for XRP with many businesses created around XRP. This is also why the Ripple team is on another level compared to the rest of the market. Even though you have a lot of promising projects in the space, Xpring will also make sure the most legitimate use cases. Receiving funding and the use cases that are not legitimate will most likely not receive funding. So he really laid out a good thing there, and he's been doing this a lot lately, and so you ought to definitely go give him a follow. All right, and I got this from Brian Melancholy XRP at Mike Honcho _11 sent this, and this is from Anthony Pompliano. Fidelity will begin. We talked about Fidelity the other day. They'll begin helping institutional clients buy and sell Bitcoin in the coming weeks. Eventually, every financial services company will do this. If Bitcoin achieved 100 billion market cap without institutional interest, imagine what happens when the smart money joins. Now, this is a point I've been making since I started this channel, and that is, first of all, I've said many times, it's not going to be one financial services company. It's going to be all of them. All of them are going to be not just into Bitcoin, but into cryptocurrency in general. And it says if Bitcoin achieved 100 billion market cap without, then I've been making that point as well. Everything that's been done, and today actually we're about to set this year's high, I believe, in total market cap. We're about to cross the 190 billion, and we also might cross $6,000 Bitcoin today. Well, if you just think about that, we've got $190 billion in this market, and Wall Street hasn't even arrived yet. And that's the point he's making here. If you can get $100 billion in Bitcoin and you don't even have institutional interest in it yet, what can you do once you do? And that is what my point's been all along. Okay, next, I thought this was just something that I have to at least go over. Many of you know the Modern Investor is a YouTuber, and he has, I believe he's got around 130,000 subscribers. So the guy is, and I listen to him occasionally, he's a smart guy. He's not some dummy. And this was brought to my attention, and I thought I needed to at least mention it. I'll give you the caveat. I am not saying that XRP is going to be $30 to $40 in the next bull run. I'm telling you that he said he thinks it will be. I'm not telling you that in 3 to 5 years XRP is going to be at 100. I believe it will. I personally believe that it will be. But I'm just telling you what this guy said in his video. In the next bull market, XRP $30 to $40. In the next 3 to 5 years, $100. And then the XRP veteran sent me this. He says, I'll take that. And I will too. There's not one part of me personally that doesn't believe that XRP will go to $100 and even beyond. But a lot of you can't imagine that right now just because we've been stuck in one place for so long. But I can tell you this, every bull run that I've been in, it took, you sat there and you're like, it's not going to move. And look at all these other coins moving. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, and it moves big time. Okay. Next, I wanted to show you this, and then I'll probably wrap this video up. Australian Securities Exchange debuts infrastructure replacement as blockchain switch begins. And this is from Crypto Utility Guy at Utility Guy 7. As I've told you in previous videos, Australia is at the forefront of crypto and getting regulation passed and making things happen. And I believe Australia is going to be one of the countries that really leads the way when blockchain and the traditional markets around the world really take off. I believe that's what you're going to see. I believe you're going to see Australia to be a very big part of that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. Even though I was an investment advisor, I'm not now. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that yes, the digital asset investor was a financial advisor, but he's not anymore. Thank you for listening.